I was diagnosed at 19. I got the first week, I was just like super, super thirsty. Like I just wanted to drink like those big milk jugs full of water. I was just so thirsty. But it was summer though. So I was like, oh, I'm just dehydrated. I'm fine, whatever. The week after that, I started losing feeling in my leg. Like my legs just started getting super numb. And I was like, that's not normal. Maybe I'm just sleeping on it wrong though. So I just kind of like passed over it again. The week after that, I started getting like really blurry vision while I was driving and stuff. So, and I wear glasses to begin with. So I was like, oh, I probably just need a new prescription. I went to the walk-in clinic the day after just to like get another prescription. And I was like telling him what was happening. And he was like, oh, it might be nerve damage or something. I was like, oh, okay. But he's like, let me just check your blood sugar. Like, just to be sure. Like, I know it doesn't run in your family or anything, but like, let's just check. So he checked and I was at like a 52.9. Like I was in DKA. I was so high and I had not even had breakfast or anything yet. Like I was like, oh, yeah, what am I supposed to be at? And he was like a 5. And I was like, oh. And then from there I went to the hospital and got diabetes. That was it. I wear a Medtronic insulin pump, and then I also wear a Freestyle Libre, or I wear a Dexcom G6. I like them both. I think especially like my insulin pump, I feel like it's just easier for me to manage. My A1C has been continuously a 5.2 or a 6.2 in those ranges. So I feel like having an insulin pump and a CGM has made controlling my glucose levels just like so much better. Sometimes I feel like we all get like, we're overworked because it's like another job. But I feel like the burnout is very typical and you just kind of like get over the hump and continue to just keep on doing it. Like it's not something we can just like stop doing. So I feel like burnout happens quite a bit though. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, just stop eating sugar. Oh, can you eat that? Yeah, I can eat anything. Like, I feel like people just like aren't educated enough about type 1 diabetes that they assume when you say, oh, I have diabetes, you're just like the assumption of, oh, you have type 2 diabetes. Right. And it's kind of like, oh, you have to be 5 years old to have type 1 diabetes. Like, you're not 5. And I feel like it's always the assumption. I've never been like that hurt by people saying it. It's just like, it's just so, I find it funny when people are like, oh, you're having an airhead or something? Like, oh, your blood sugar is just going to be all over the world. Or when they tell you to have insulin when your blood sugar is low, I feel it's just those things, the little things that are just like, what? Excuse me? It's like very uneducated like thoughts of people who don't understand or know about type 1 diabetes. I feel like I've met such a like amazing group of people through having diabetes, and I love like sharing diabetes education with people. So I just feel like it's made my life a lot bigger and brighter because like I've met so many more people, and like as soon as I got diagnosed, like people were reaching out to me and helping me, and like it was just all so very like kind, and there was never anything like negative towards it. It was always like very kind. That's awesome. I don't think I've ever been ashamed of it. And when I like see people who like hide their insulin pumps or like hide the fact that they have it, I'm like, why? Yeah. Why? It's part of you and it makes you you. And it's, I mean, at the beginning when I was doing shots, it always looked like, you were doing drugs, but I get it, but like being on a pump and stuff, it's just always so nice. And especially when you see little kids that have type 1 and then they see you like showing off your pump and your CGMs, it makes them feel really good and like, oh, okay, well, I could be her when I grow up or, stuff like that. I think when I like first got diagnosed, I didn't realize I was going low and I was like too scared to like ask my mom for help. So I went really low and then I had to go to the hospital, but I think it's really important. I think for people who don't even have diabetes, it's important because you never know when, someone on the SkyTrain or on a bus or you walk by someone with diabetes and like you can have an interaction with them or, maybe they are going super low and they need your help and you can be like, oh, I know something about diabetes. I know how to help. Like, just like feel like if people know a little bit, they wouldn't be so judgy when people are like, oh, I have diabetes. Having low blood sugar doesn't mean I need more insulin, and having high blood sugar doesn't mean I can't have candy or can't have these things. I can have whatever I want and it be okay. I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people are just like, just assume the worst, and then they don't understand that, we have a logic to everything we do, and we plan and we pre-plan and we pre-bolus, and there's so much effort that goes into having type 1 diabetes. And then when some people step in, it's kind of like, why would you step in? I'm counting my carbs. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. It's not an exact science, but we make it work in our own way.